Have you ever met someone for the first time and heard these 4 words? Tell me about yourself. It sounds like a very simple question, but when someone actually asks you, suddenly, you don't know what to say. You know your name. You know where you live. You know what you do. But your mind goes completely blank. What should you say first? How much should you say? And how can you sound natural in English? Don't worry. In today's episode of Real English Podcast, I'm going to show you exactly how to introduce yourself in English. We'll learn simple sentences you can use at school, at work, in a new class, at a party, or when meeting someone for the first time. And the best part? You can practice everything with me. So take a deep breath. And let's get started. Let's begin with the most important sentence. When you meet someone, you can simply say, "My name is Anna," or "I'm Anna." Both are correct. And in everyday English, "I'm Anna" sounds very natural. For example, "Hi, I'm Anna. Nice to meet you." That's a perfect way to begin. Now imagine you're meeting someone for the first time. You could say, "Hi, I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you." The other person might say, "Nice to meet you too." Very simple. You don't need difficult English. You don't need a long speech. Just start with something easy. Your name. Then you can talk about where you're from. For example, "I'm from Canada." "I'm from India." "I'm from Brazil." "I'm from Japan." You can also say, "I'm from a small town," or "I'm from a big city." Now let's put the sentences together. "Hi, I'm Anna. I'm from Canada. Nice to meet you." That's already a great introduction. After talking about where you're from, you can talk about where you live. Someone might ask, "Where do you live?" You can answer, "I live in Toronto," or "I live in Mumbai." "I live in London." "I live in a small town." "I live near the beach." Notice something. We're using the present simple. I live. This is because we're talking about something that is generally true about our life. Let's practice. I'll say the question. You answer. Where do you live? Good. You could say, "I live in Delhi," or "I live in a small town," or simply, "I live in London." Now try again. Where do you live? Excellent. Now let's talk about another very common question. What do you do? This question is often asking about your job or your studies. For example, "I'm a teacher." "I'm a student." "I'm a doctor." "I'm an engineer." "I'm a designer." If you work somewhere, you can also say, "I work in a hospital." "I work in a school." "I work in an office," or "I work from home." If you're a student, you can say, "I'm a student," and you can add what you study. For example, "I'm a student. I study English." "I'm a student. I study business." "I'm a student. I study art." You can also say, "I'm studying English." Both are useful. Now, let's practice. What do you do? Good. Say your answer aloud. Maybe, "I'm a student," or "I'm a teacher," or "I work in an office." Remember, you don't need to give a long answer. One sentence is enough. Let's imagine someone asks, "What do you study?" You could say, "I study English. I really enjoy it." Or, "I study art. I love drawing and painting." That second sentence gives the other person something to ask about. And that's an important part of conversation. You don't have to tell someone everything about yourself. Just give them a little information. Then let the conversation continue naturally. Now let's talk about one of my favorite parts of an introduction, your hobbies. A hobby is something you enjoy doing in your free time. You can say, "I like reading." "I like cooking." "I like watching movies." "I like playing football." "I like listening to music." You can also say, I love. For example, I love traveling. I love photography. I love painting. Or, I enjoy reading. I enjoy learning languages. I enjoy spending time with my friends. These are wonderful sentences because they help people learn about your personality. Let's practice. Complete this sentence. In my free time, I like. What do you like? Maybe you like reading. Maybe you like gaming. Maybe you like cooking. Maybe you like playing sports. Whatever it is, say it aloud. In my free time, I like. Excellent. You can also talk about your favorite things. For example, my favorite food is pizza. My favorite color is blue. My favorite movie is. My favorite sport is football. My favorite subject is English. You can also ask someone, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite sport? This is a great way to keep a conversation going. For example, my favorite food is pasta. Then the other person might ask, really, what kind of pasta do you like? And suddenly, you have another conversation. That's how simple English creates real conversations. Another common topic is family. Someone might ask, do you have any brothers or sisters? You can answer, yes, I do. Or, no, I don't. If you have a brother, you can say, I have one brother. If you have two sisters, I have two sisters. You can also describe your family. For example, I have one older brother. I have a younger sister. I have a small family. I have a big family. You don't need to give private information. Just share what you're comfortable sharing. For example, I have one sister. She's a student. That's enough. And if you have a pet, that's another easy conversation topic. Someone might ask, do you have any pets? You can say, yes, I do. I have a dog. Or, I have a cat. You can give your pet's name. My dog's name is Max. My cat's name is Luna. And you can describe your pet. He's very friendly. She's very playful. He's small and brown. She's quiet and sleepy. And don't worry if you don't have a pet. You can simply say, no, I don't have any pets. Now here's something important. When someone says, tell me about yourself, you don't have to tell them your entire life story. You don't need 10 minutes. You don't even need 5 minutes. A short introduction can be perfect. For example, hi, I'm Anna. I'm from Canada and I live in Toronto. I'm an English teacher. I love reading and traveling and I enjoy spending time with my friends. That's a natural introduction. You gave your name, country, city, job, and hobbies. That's enough to start a conversation. The other person can then ask questions. Maybe, what kind of books do you like? Or, how long have you lived in Toronto? Or, where do you teach English? And the conversation continues. Here's a simple formula you can remember. When introducing yourself, think name, from, live, work, study, hobbies, let's practice. 1. Name, my name is Anna. 2. Where you're from, I'm from Canada. 3. Where you live, I live in Toronto. 4. Work or studies, I'm an English teacher. 5. Hobbies, I like reading and traveling. Now put everything together. Hi, I'm Anna. I'm from Canada and I live in Toronto. I'm an English teacher. I like reading and traveling. That's it. Simple, clear, natural. And now let's quickly look at today's grammar. The present simple. We use the present simple to talk about things that are generally true. For example, I live in Toronto. I work in a school. I study English. I like music. I play tennis. I read books. You can also make negative sentences. For example, I don't like coffee. I don't play football. I don't work on Sundays. And you can ask questions. Where do you live? What do you do? What do you like? Do you have any brothers or sisters? These are some of the most useful structures in everyday English. So don't underestimate simple sentences. They are the foundation of communication. Now it's your turn. I'm going to ask you some questions. Try to answer out loud. Don't just think about your answer, speak. Ready? Question 1. What's your name? Good. Question 2. Where are you from? Excellent. Question 3. Where do you live? Very good. Question 4. What do you do? Great. Question 5. What do you like to do in your free time? Excellent. And one final question. Tell me about yourself. Take your time. Try to give me 3 to 5 sentences. Wonderful. Even if you made mistakes, keep going. That's how speaking improves. Let me give you one complete example. Imagine I'm meeting someone for the first time. I could say, "Hi, my name is Anna. I'm from Canada and I live in Toronto. I'm an English teacher. I love reading and traveling. In my free time, I enjoy listening to music and spending time with my friends. It's nice to meet you." That's a complete introduction. Now imagine you're introducing yourself. You could say, "Hi, my name is, I'm from, I live in, I'm a, I like, in my free time I," and finish with, "It's nice to meet you." That's all you need. So, the next time someone asks you, "Tell me about yourself," don't panic. You don't need perfect English. You don't need difficult vocabulary. And you don't need to memorize a long speech. Just start with the basics. Your name, where you're from, where you live, what you do, and something you enjoy. Remember, simple English is good English, and the more you speak, the more comfortable you become. Before you leave, I have a little challenge for you. Go to the comments and write 3 sentences about yourself in English. For example, my name is Anna. I'm from Canada. I like reading. That's it. Don't worry about making mistakes. Mistakes are a normal part of learning. And if you see someone else's comment, you can even reply to them in English. You might make a new English learning friend. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. If this episode helped you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Real English Podcast. And come back for the next episode, where we'll continue building your everyday English step by step. Until then, keep listening, keep speaking, and keep learning. I'm Anna. I'll see you in the next episode of Real English Podcast. Bye for now. Today's new words. 1. Introduction. Information you give when you tell someone who you are. 2. Hobby. An activity you enjoy doing in your free time. 3. Routine. The things you regularly do. 4. Personality. The way a person normally thinks, feels, and behaves. 5. Comfortable, relaxed, and confident, without feeling nervous. Your question. Can you introduce yourself in English using 3 sentences? Write your answer in the comments. Anna will see you there.